everyone. Welcome to a community spotlight. And we have Amy here. I absolutely love Amy. I've asked her to be our next spotlight because I've been using Amy's products for I don't even know how many years now. 5,
No,
6.
longer than
Oh my
that.
God. Yeah. Back
It's,
in since 2012, actually.
I mean, you had Maddox in your stomach
Yes.
and we had already built a relationship. So
Yes.
longer than like a
Yep.
year before Maddox.
So I would say 2012, 2013, because I was just starting the Fit Club. I just expanded and you had come into the building. I
Yes.
remember that. And I fell in love with your soaps, Amy.
We,
Still to this day. So
yeah,
thank you for joining us, Amy. Thank you for being here.
thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So Amy, tell us, share with us a little bit about your story of how Amy Soaps, Amy's All Natural, began.
So I have been making soaps as long as I can remember. It's kind of what we did up in New Hampshire. My grandparents had like land, a farm, and they had a few cows, they had a few pigs, we had chickens, and we had some goats, and every set of grandkids would have a specific chore to do with my grandparents, and mine was gardening, and then I would also help my grandmother make soap. And
Mhm.
it's just it was a passion of mine. I don't know if it was because I got to spend so much time alone with my grandmother, or if I mean, there was something in the soap as well that I loved because I didn't consider it a chore. And then growing up, I would consistently make it. And then there was one weekend I went up to New Hampshire with my dad, and he's like, I've been thinking about that soap you used to make. Let's try to make some, but let's not make it with animal fat like we used to growing up on the farm. He said, let's try it with different plant-based oils, coconut oil and olive oil. So that weekend, I think my dad and I made, 6 different batches of soap. And that was, about 18 years ago.
Wow.
And I left so inspired and excited. And I went home and you couldn't drag me out of the basement. I just kept adjusting my recipe, and I just knew that this was going to be a part of my life. And I ended up with so much soap. I was like, what am I going to do with all this soap now? So I started handing it out to friends and neighbors, and within like, gosh, I mean, a month, I was like, are you making any more of that soap? And the word spread, and it got to a point where I was making soap more than I was working at my regular job.
Wow.
And the kids were old enough. Dan said, why don't we make something of this? So I got myself into a few little stores. I started doing a few farmers markets. And I realized pretty quickly that people don't need soap. When you go to a farmer's market, you don't need soap on a weekly basis. You don't need soap even sometimes on a monthly basis, depending on how much you buy. So knew I needed to get it out there in a different platform as well. So then I started my website, and I found some larger venues to make it worth my while. And that got me into the Big E and some of one of my other farmers markets, which is on the Mass Turnpike. And when I do that, I see people from all over the country and get my soap out all over the country, and they repeat and order online.
Wow. Yes, you have one amazing product, Amy. So this all happened 18 years ago. I have goosebumps right now when you told me your story. 18 years ago, and it sounds like you eventually left your job to do this full time, pursue this full time.
I did.
Wonderful. What a
I
story of truly fulfilling like your passion and purpose.
Thank you. And one thing, like my dad, when we started this and what he instilled into me is that, and I'm not trying to slant, anybody can do what I do, but do the research and know why you're adding the certain oils and what they contribute to the soap and why you're using those specific oils, and come up with something unique to you. So my recipe is a one of a kind recipe. You won't find it anywhere else. And I do feel that that kind of sets me apart from other
Mm,
soaps. because I spent the time. I mean, the recipe I use now is a recipe, it's like number 24.
Wow.
You know, when I started, I knew I wanted these certain oils, and I tweaked the recipe itself like 24 different times to get to where I'm at. And once I had that, I knew there was no going. That's the recipe that I was
That's
going
the
to stick with.
recipe. Well, I will say, being someone who is very conscious about what goes into my products and what's in my environment, that you have the absolute cleanest soap I've ever come across. Very
Thank,
simple, pure ingredients that are made to work with the body. So I absolutely love that.
thank you very much.
So let me ask Amy, it's no surprise to everyone that this past year has been difficult on small businesses. You
It
being a
sure
small
has.
business, yes. How has this past year affected you or made you thrive? What's your story?
So I almost feel guilty saying this because I am one of the small businesses that, yes, I have had a hit. I mean, there was no biggie last year. There have been
Mm,
no craft shows or festivals, or, you know, of course that has been a big hit. But through all of this, everybody needs soap. And what better way to keep the virus away than wash your hands? And natural soap is better than any hand sanitizer, any hand pump.
mhm.
So I have actually, my website has grown even more. So
Wow.
I'm very grateful, and at times I kind of hate to say that out loud.
No, don't ever hate to say that.
Well, it's because of my loyal follower, my loyal customers.
Yes, that's great. I love that you said that about the natural oils and the natural ingredients in your soap, how they do combat, the bacterias and the viruses and the not so good things that we want around us. That's awesome. I'm glad. I will say, without Amy's face soap, I'm telling you, I used to use the one with the French green clay, and then I realized I had an allergy to the goat milk. So I couldn't use her goat milk soaps anymore. And she's like, no problem, Jessica, I got you. We got this charcoal anise soap, which I love even more. Twice a day, I wash my face with that charcoal soap. I don't know what I would do without it. It's very cleansing to my face. It brings out my natural oils. My face feels very clean. It doesn't feel like I have like a film on it from like those store brand things I used to buy. I used to break out all the time.
I
And
remember that, and your complexion is beautiful.
yes, ever since using your soaps, Amy, your soaps have cleared up my face. Not to say that my body, I don't love your body soaps, but I didn't have a problem on my body. I had the problem
Right.
on my face.
Well, your face looks beautiful. So whatever we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, you can't ever leave me, girl.
I won't. I won't.
Awesome, Amy. So, how can people watching this contact you? How can we buy from you? How can we find you and get some soaps for,
You can thankfully find me right on my website. Uh,
okay?
all
We're at,
natural.
go
Amy's.
ahead.
You have it.
Yep, Amy's allnaturalsoaps.com. And her name is Amy Mitchell. Her phone number is, do you want me to put that on there? 413-949-1826.
But leave a message, because sometimes I'm making soap, cutting soap, and I don't pick up the phone unless you leave a message.
That's good to know. Good. Absolutely. And she does have a warehouse spot in Palmer, Mass. Where
Yes, and
she
you can do
makes,
pickup orders. It's not it's not a store, but it is where I produce soap, and I have a wonderful, I don't want to say curbside because it's actually inside the building, but it's
dockside.
outside, yeah, dockside. You can pick up your package without having contact. Just email me or call me or go online. The website actually has a new pickup option. So you don't have to pay the shipping. You can just hit pick up at
Beautiful.
the soap shop.
Beautiful.
Um, and within 24 hours, your bag will be right outside my door.
Awesome. Amy's allnaturalsoaps.com. And because of Amy, when you walk into that warehouse, it smells absolutely beautiful. It's, for sure.
So I do send you an email with directions on how to find it. And
Okay.
in the directions are let your nose lead you the way, because
I
as
love
soon as
that.
you walk, soon as you walk through the door, you'll smell me.
Yes, in a good way.
We need it in that place.
Absolutely. So again, you can find Amy at amy'sallnaturalsoaps.com. Go check her out. It's 100% pure love from her heart that you will get out of her product. I highly, highly recommend if you have skin problems, if even your pets have skin problems. I know.
I do have a dog soap. Love my
Yes.
dog soap. In fact, my husband always says we need to focus on the dog soap and go on Shark Tank. And I'm like, I can't leave all the others behind, but my dog soap is it's really good,
Yes.
especially for dogs with skin allergies or alopecia, um, fur loss. It does
Mm,
cut down on shedding, dandruff, itchy, dry dog skin.
yeah, for sure. Highly, highly recommend you, Amy, for sure. Well,
Thank you, Jess.
you got it. Anytime. Well, thank you for being on and being in our spotlight. I enjoyed having you.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. So again, that's you can find Amy at amy'sallnaturalsoaps.com. Go check her out. And until next time, everyone keep rocking at life and we'll see you next time. Adios.
Bye.